Hey, natural science students. I wanted to work a couple examples today for you for chemical formulas so we can get some more practice in before you have a quiz either Wednesday or Thursday of this week. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a simple example that involves doing a chemical formula from the periodic table, and then I'm going to do a more complex example that involves using our happy fun sheet of weird ions to help us. And so let's go ahead and get started. I think for this first one, what I'm going to do, I'll write this down. I'm going to combine barium with bismuth. That sounds super fun. Okay, and so here I've written it down on my sheet, barium and bismuth. Okay, and so first things first, what do we do? Well, first thing that we do whenever we're trying to make a chemical formula is we write down the symbols for the elements. And so we got to find barium and bismuth on the periodic table. We can't get out of this step. I know that it can be a big pain in the butt to find things on the periodic table. We got to do it. So here's a periodic table. Oh, there it is. Barium. While we're here, we might as well just look above the column because we need this oxidation number or charge +2. So we got to remember that. Then let's find bismuth. Remember, nonmetals are always written on the right. Okay. Bismuth may be a metal, but it bonds like a nonmetal because it's in this column right here that has a -3 oxidation number. It wants to accept additional electrons to be stable. So here's bismuth, Bi, and it's in the column marked -3, and so this is going to help us with both steps 1 and 2 for this problem. Okay, so step 1, we write down the chemical symbols. Okay, so for barium, it's Ba. It's totally Ba. And then for bismuth, it's Bi. Step 1, done. Okay. Step 2, we write down the oxidation numbers as superscripts. Barium is a +2. Bismuth is a -3. Step 3, our favorite step, we all know it. Okay, it's crisscross applesauce! And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle this +2, move it down here by bismuth. I'm going to circle this -3. We're going to move it down here by barium, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm going to rewrite it. So that becomes Ba, the -3 crisscross down from the bismuth, and then Bi, and the +2 crosses down here from the barium. But remember what our rules are for writing chemical formulas. We don't write minuses and positives. We don't write ones. Now, we don't have any ones here, so we don't have to follow that step, but we do have minuses and positives. So when I rewrite this, I'm going to write Ba3, Bi2. Remember, we can always check our work. This chemical formula says that we have 3 bariums. So I'm going to write out 3 barium atoms. And according to our original problem here, barium had a +2 charge. +2 for a total of +6 for charge for all the barium atoms in that formula. Then bismuth, we have 2 bismuth atoms. So I'll write those down, 2 bismuth. And if we look up here, bismuth was a -3. We total those up, it's a -6. We know that this is an accurate chemical formula because the +6 cancels out the -6. Now for naming it. The rule is that you always write the metal first and it is capitalized. So this becomes barium. And then for the nonmetal, if we find that nonmetal on the periodic table, which we did, first of all, nonmetal is written second. Secondly, nonmetal is written lowercase. But it's not bismuth, it's bismide. It always ends in IDE. And remember, I'm not going to hold you responsible for getting the Latin parts of the word correct. If you write bismuthide or something, I will give you credit for that because it's not your responsibility to know what the exact version of IDE is, especially with the speed in which we're needing to know how to do chemical formulas. So there's our final example, barium combined with bismuth. Let's do one more. But this one I want to make a little bit more complex. This one I want to be based off of our happy fun sheet for weird ions. So here's our happy fun sheet, at least part of our happy fun sheet that you can see right here. Lower it. See, you know it's the happy fun sheet because it says happy fun sheet of weird ions. Awesome. Roman numeral guide on the side. Okay, let's combine, let's see, what do we want to do? Let's combine, oh, there's my magnet part. Oh, it was hidden. There's my magnet part. Okay, so we're going to combine mercury, flava 2 with the Roman numeral, with, let's pick something awesome, Ooh, let's pick. No, I don't like that one. I don't want to do that one. Let's pick perchlorate. Perchlorate. On the test, I will tell you if something is found on the Happy Fun sheet, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so in order to combine these two ions, the steps aren't any different from when we did a simple example. We just have to follow some extra rules to be aware of how to appropriately write these. And so if we look at our Happy Fun sheet under mercury, right here, okay, so mercury 2, well, honestly, folks, we don't even have to look at the Happy Fun sheet. The Roman numeral tells us everything that we need to know. This version of mercury is going to be +2. We can also get the symbol off of the Happy Fun sheet. So it's going to be Hg. And then when we look down here, and the rest of the Happy Fun sheet at perchlorate, we followed over. Perchlorate is ClO4. Remember, we put parentheses around these, and there's a -1 for its charge. And so I'm going to go ahead and do steps 1 and 2 at the same time. Step 1 is we write down the chemical symbol, and we know that this is a +2 because the Roman numeral tells us that. I'm having extreme focus trouble with this, kids. I'm sorry. Let me see if hitting the focus button makes any difference. It apparently does not. In fact, that just made it worse. Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to do my best here. Hopefully I can get this to focus. Come on. It just won't. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, it got better for a second, and now it's not doing it. I don't know. Come on, focus. Maybe if I move this closer, does that help? Okay, that's better. Okay, so Hg +2, and then we have perchlorate, which is ClO4 -1 outside the parentheses. Okay. Step 3, we crisscross applesauce. Move this over. So if we rewrite it, we get Hg -1. In parentheses, we get ClO4 +2. We don't write the positive or the negative. We don't write a 1, so it becomes HgClO4 2 outside the parentheses. All right, there's our chemical formula. For naming it, as always, the metal is written first and is capitalized. But we have to include this Roman numeral, so anyone who is maybe working with this as part of a chemical recipes knows that we have to have the Roman numeral to know which version of mercury we're using. And then, since this non-metal ion came off of our Happy Fun sheet of weird ions, we write it lowercase as per normal, but this is the case where we do not write it as IDE. We only write IDE if something comes directly off the periodic table. If something comes off of the Happy Fun sheet, we write it whatever the name is, but just lowercase, just like we normally would. So there's a more advanced example using transition metals and using ions that are on the polyatomic ion list or Happy Fun sheet of weird ions. So hopefully this will help you out because we have a quiz coming up really quick and we're not going to have an opportunity to do a Kahoot for this. And so hopefully this will help you to understand a little bit better. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to work with you one-on-one.